All right, this is just going to be really fast. Normally, I don't comment on day to day gaming discourse because it's always very stupid, but today seems especially stupid, and so I just wanted to address it real fast. I'm talking about what you see on the screen right here. This is an article from IGN Nordic. This isn't the only article that covered it. They also talked to Bloomberg and a bunch of other people. This is just the first one that came up on Google. It's a quote from the Sony senior vice president that's talking about looking ahead, the PS5 will enter the latter stages of its life cycle. Okay? And for some reason, that has gotten a whole bunch of people all in a tizzy because they're worried, like, oh, Sony's wailing down. I just spent a bunch of money on my PS5, and now they're winding down making games. No, that's not how it works. That's never been how it works. And not only that, but the PS5 has been out for a while now. And if you don't really believe that, let me show it to you in numbers. All right, I did a Twitter thread here because I wanted to just get everything out. All right, so look, here are the release dates of every main Sony console so far, going all the way back to the first one: the PS1, the PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS5. You can see the dates right here on the screen. Now, another way of looking at this information is that, if you just take when, from the length of when the PS1 was released to when the PS2 was released, that would be the PS1's, quote unquote, main life cycle. Obviously, games came out after the PS2 released for the PS1, but everybody was kind of focused on the PS2 moving forward. Same with PS2, same with PS3. PS2, interestingly, they continued to make games for the PS2 for 20 years after that was done, but Sony as a company moved on. So right here you can see that PS1 lasted for 5 years and 3 months, PS2 6 years 8 months, PS3 7 years 4 days, PS4 6 years 11 months. If we average all of that together, then we get 6 years 6 months in 1 day. All right. Now, from the launch of the PS5 until today, it's been exactly 3 years, 3 months, and 2 days. That equals 1,189 days. If we compare that length of time to the average Sony console, then we see that right now the PS5 has literally been out for 50.19% of the average length of time for a Sony console. We are literally exactly at the halfway point in Sony development. Slightly over the line, going into 51, 52%. That's what entering the latter half of a life cycle means. You've passed the half, now you're in the late stages. It doesn't mean that they're done making games. It doesn't mean we're not going to still get games for, probably 3 or 4 more years and then another 3 or 4 more years after that, even though there'll be a PS6. But it's still it's there. It's fine. It's the same as all the other PlayStation consoles. Console releases aren't coming faster. You're just old now. Time moves quicker for everybody.